For this video, I decided to connect with my friend Chris from the YouTube channel YellowProductions and to explore a little bit of Huntington Beach. I haven't spent a lot of time in the city, so he volunteered to share a couple of his favorite spots. Here's how we spent a half day exploring, and let me know what your favorite spot is in the comments. You guys know me, I love finding new donut shops every time I explore, so of course that was my first stop in the city. This one came highly recommended, and they had a wide assortment of all different kinds of donuts. The line was surprisingly long on a Friday morning, so I'm sure it's even busier on the weekends. After waiting in line, I grabbed some donuts and then headed down towards the pier. I made it to Huntington Beach with the donuts. I found my friend Chris from YellowProductions.
Hey everybody!
We're gonna explore Huntington Beach today.
We sure are. This is a guava malasada. And you know, it's hard to find malasadas in a lot of donut places. It's a Portuguese donut, has guava filling because it's really popular in Hawaii.
I had no idea that it was a Portuguese donut or that even existed. So I'm already learning something new on this trip.
It's sweet and it's tropical from the guava jam.
So I asked them what donut to get, and they told me I should get this monstrosity that is some more donut. It's not what I would normally have chosen, but I mean, that's pretty beautiful, right? I would say overall, pretty strong start to the day. Check out the donuttery. Let's explore more of Huntington Beach. So one of the reasons I met up with Chris today was that we're also gonna shoot a video for his channel on mistakes that people make when they're traveling to California. So he's got the tripod. We're gonna go set up the first shot, and then we're gonna keep exploring. But watch the video linked in the description.
See you there.
One of the main highlights of this area is just walking out on the beach and checking out the Huntington Beach Pier. It's over 1,800 feet long, and it's one of the longest piers on the West Coast. The pier sits at about 30 feet above the water, and it's an awesome place for photography and just to watch the waves crash against the concrete pillars.
Huntington Beach, one of my favorite beaches to see surfers, and you can see there's a ton of surfers out here today. Nearly every day of the year there's surfable waves in Huntington Beach, but one of the best places to see them is up on the pier.
So we're gonna head up there and watch the surfers. I think Huntington is one of the coolest places to take pier photos too. Going underneath the pier is awesome because it's just long and you can get some great shots.
After walking under the pier all the way back to the road, we were able to start walking out onto the actual pier. The pier was initially built in the early 1900s, but due to severe storms that damaged it over the years, it was completely rebuilt in the 1990s.
So the surfers are just up ahead, but one of the things I love on the pier is I love the store that sells all these like whirly birds. I love it. My 2-year-old loves it. I think it's because I'm a 2-year-old at heart.
It's always fun to travel with another person who shows you things that you just walk by every time you're in the area.
So in addition to pinwheels, the kite shop also has Zoltar in front of it. And this guy, he'll read your fortune out. You know, it used to be for $1, but in this modern world, he doesn't take dollars anymore.
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay.
For I have a fortune especially for you. Remember, it is much better to say little than to say too much and regret it later.
I think Zoltar just said I talk too much, so.
After stopping for the pinwheels and for Zoltar, two things that I would normally just walk right by, we finally made it to the viewing area for the surfers.
There is a ton of people surfing today.
Yeah, this is also a spot where they hold plenty of surf competitions. The US Open of Surfing is held here often in the summer, but it's a really neat place not to see surfers, but see some of the world's best surfers.
The US Open of Surfing is a week-long surfing competition which is one of the largest in the world and which has been held here since 1959. It happens every year, usually at the end of July or the beginning of August. If you're in the area when it's happening, it's definitely worth coming out to and seeing. It's a huge event that takes over much of the sand on the south side of the pier. As with all major events though, get there early if you want to find parking and note that there's going to be a lot of people there. After finishing watching the surfers, we decided to head all the way to the end of the pier and to see what the restaurant is that's going to be going in there.
So there used to be a restaurant, Ruby's, here, and it looks like they're actually putting another one in, but Chris has got a spot we're gonna go to for lunch instead. Plus you had a comment on seafood?
Yeah, right. You know, I always feel like seafood restaurants are what open on piers because, you know, there's all these people fishing at the pier, so you think the seafood's probably from here, but I don't know about this restaurant, but I've gone into others and I'm like, hey, you're in California. What can I get at this restaurant that's from California? And they'll be like,
the napkins?
yeah, right. Yeah, nothing.
But yeah, Chris is gonna show us the good seafood spot that he likes at Huntington Beach.
Yeah, it's legit.
After leaving the pier, we made our way all the way back to Main Street to walk along the shops and the restaurants.
We're down here in downtown
And in downtown Huntington Beach, they have the Surfers Hall of Fame. You know, Hollywood has the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, here you can see the Surfers Walk of Fame with the hands and the feet. It's in front of Huntington Surf and Sport. This intersection of this surf shop and this surf shop, Jack Surfboards, between these two, these are the largest surf shops in all of Orange County. If you love surf culture, this is the place to come.
Here you can also see a statue of the Duke, which many people consider the father of modern surfing. Since Huntington Beach is known as Surf City, we decided we should also go see the International Surfing Museum, which is only about a 5-minute walk from the pier.
Chris was saying that this used to all be shut down, but now just this part of the area is shut down for the restaurants and pedestrian only. As unfortunate as the pandemic was, it's actually pretty nice that a lot of these places have been able to kind of reclaim some of this space. And these pedestrian walkways in a lot of the cities is really nice now, right?
It is really nice. No, I really like this because a lot of these restaurants were small and now you can come out here and sit in the sunshine.
Yeah, so I mean, look at that. Why would you not want to sit outside?
If you're walking down Main Street, be sure to follow the signs to the International Surfing Museum. This museum is pretty small and there's no charge currently, but they do accept donations. As soon as you walk in, you'll see a statue of the Duke, which the museum is dedicated to. Throughout the museum, there's lots of different exhibits that talk about the history of surfing.
So this place is under construction right now. They're changing up some of the exhibits, but it's still a great spot to visit in Huntington Beach. Lots of surf history. Plus they have the Guinness Book of World Record, world's largest surfboard in the parking lot, and we're gonna see that next.
Before heading out to see the surfboard, be sure to look at the pictures of it in the water and even watch the video of people actually surfing it.
Chris is demonstrating how big the world's largest surfboard is. How tall are you, Chris?
It's big. I'm 6 foot tall. You got a couple feet with my hands.
Man, look at that. They put 66 people on that thing.
I've seen this before in Huntington Beach, but this is my first time in the surf museum, and I just thought it was a billboard. I didn't realize this actually surfed in the ocean for 12 seconds.
So yeah, don't leave the museum without seeing the surfboard, but we're heading to lunch and then do a short hike and then end our time in Huntington Beach.
Lunch brought us over to Pacific City, which is about a half-mile south of Main Street and is a great spot to get food or to do some shopping. You can walk over here, or they do have free parking for 2 hours with validation from one of the restaurants.
Whenever I come here, I usually go to Phil's or I go to Lemonade, but Chris said there's this great spot called Bear Flag, so we're gonna try that today for lunch.
Bear Flag is located in the food hall, which is on the south side of Pacific City. I'm not gonna lie, apparently I haven't explored this area as much as I'd like. I didn't even know this existed before I came today. In here they have coffee shops, restaurants, they have a pop bar for ice cream, all sorts of things. We headed to Bear Flag, which seemed to be one of the most popular places in the food hall and specializes in fresh fish.
What's so good about this spot?
All right, so what I love about Bear Flag Fish Company is it's like a fish market, so they go there and they sell the fish, and then two, when you sit out here, look, it's the ocean. And so it's just a super neat spot to eat.
Pro tip, I mean, it's fresh fish and you're right next to the water and there's no wait service or anything. You just order and sit down, so pretty hard to beat. Oh yeah, that is good poke. Well done, thank you for the recommendation.
And I'm glad you enjoyed it.
See how YouTubers eating?
Yeah, that's right. You know,
taking pictures of his food.
Before we eat, we gotta like take a picture, like 3 different angles, maybe a story like this.
It's horrible to eat.
It is.
If you like this type of place, definitely check it out. It was $13 for my bowl and it was delicious.
That was a great lunch spot, fresh fish. I'm glad I have another spot down in Huntington. I always go to Lemonade and Phil's, but we're gonna do a short hike and then head on.
Before ending the day at the beach, we decided to head about 10 minutes north to Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve.
We're here for our last stop of the day, which is Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve.
Yeah, so I'll walk backwards just like a tour guide right here. This is the largest saltwater marsh between Mexico and Monterey. It's just across from Bolsa Chica State Beach in Huntington Beach. What I love about this place is you just stand here on this bridge and you see all sorts of neat birds here. I get camera envy here because when I look at the other people with cameras, they usually have lenses that are this long. There's 2 parking lots. There's one off Warner, but the one you really want to come to is the small little lot that's right by the Bolsa Chica State Beach entrance.
Bolsa Chica is a natural reserve that is owned and governed by the state of California. The efforts to preserve the area started in the 1960s and it took many decades before it was fully completed. Now there's over 800 acres and it serves as an amazing place for migratory birds. There's about 10 miles of trails that take you along the wetlands and give you amazing views. Of course, it's incredibly popular for birding, and they said that there's over 20 different species of birds that live here.
Check out this bird. It's so still, like it's just watching for fish. That's so cool.
After about a mile of hiking, we decided to turn around and head back to where we parked. Alright, so we just finished our hike, a few miles walking around. The area is beautiful, lots of birds to see. We got one more stop. Chris is gonna take us to a awesome tea place before we end the video.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Are you thirsty after this hike, Josh?
Absolutely,
All
let's
right.
do it. To finish the day, we headed about 15 minutes back towards the freeway to the Bella Terra shopping mall.
So I don't ever have anything other than coffee in the afternoon, but Chris convinced me to try this tea place. What makes tea worth trying, Chris?
Yeah, well, in particular, this tea. So this place is called Come By Tea. It's a chain from Taiwan, and they make the tea here like coffee shops make coffee, and that they actually have this high pressure machine. They call it a tea presso machine, where they put the tea in high pressure, 60 seconds, brew it. Everything here is fresh brewed, as opposed to a lot of other tea shops. They make like milk tea from like powders and things like that. It's truly delicious. And if you come here on weekends and you like boba, they have a really unique kind of boba here made of taro and yam, so like sweet potato instead of the tapioca.
I don't know, I'm excited to give it a try after he built it up.
It's good. It's good. Tastes like tea. I do like the taro yam boba better, or the regular boba better, but they were sold out of both those. I think it's quite a refreshing drink.
You guys might already know this, but Chris told me that they put pudding in a tea. I'd never heard that before, so if you want, you can get pudding in your tea.
Yeah, for
Have
sure.
you tried it? Is it good?
Pudding milk tea. I love pudding milk tea. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna dive in. Some good tea. I'm impressed. The Sun Moon Lake tea. On that note, thanks to Chris for hanging out with me today, showing me around all these spots I didn't know in Huntington Beach. We also filmed a video for his channel on mistakes that you don't want to make when you come to California.
That's right. We're going to
That's
help
what
you
we did.
avoid some of those common mistakes when you come to California.
And be sure to check out his channel for all sorts of information-based videos on California and all over the world. Plus, he travels with a panda, so go check that out as well. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.